Thank you so much, Chair. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to start with a land acknowledgement that was actually written by our Parent Involvement Committee last year and reflects all of the First Nations across our board. We would like to begin this meeting by acknowledging that the Near North District School Board serves communities located on the traditional territories of many Indigenous nations. We are grateful to live, learn, and work on the lands of the Anishinaabe, specifically Nipissing, Wasauksing, Shawanaga, Magnetawan, Dokis, Henvey Inlet, and Moose Deer Point First Nations, as well as the traditional territory of the Métis Nation of Ontario. This land is covered by several treaties, including the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850. Treaty agreements were intended to be based on mutual respect, peace, and friendship. We recognize the enduring presence and contributions of all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples across Turtle Island. We commit ourselves to the ongoing work of reconciliation and to fostering respectful relationships with Indigenous communities across the West, East, and North regions of the Near North District School Board. Let this acknowledgement serve as a reminder of our shared responsibility to honor the land, the treaties, and the people who have cared for it since time immemorial. Miigwech.
Thank you, Marcy. That was wonderful. I will now pass it to Director McJanet to share a welcome and introduction of the Minister.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to join you tonight. As said, my name is Jay McJanet, and I'm honored to serve as the Director of Education for our Near North District School Board. I look forward to working closely with this Parent Involvement Committee and partnering with you to support student achievement, well-being, and those strong school communities across our board. And as this is the first time introducing myself to you publicly, I would like you to know that, number one, I'm a Northern boy. I grew up in Sault Ste. Marie, and coming to Near North is like coming home. I need you to know that I'm committed to our communities, and our focus will always be on student achievement and success, both academically and socially. I'm looking forward to moving forward together, and it's so important that staff, students, administration, and families work together. I'd also like to introduce the Honorable Paul Calandra, Ontario's Minister of Education. And just as a quick note, why you would wonder why Minister Calandra is here under Bill 33 and during this period of supervision for Near North, Minister Calandra will assume the responsibilities typically held by the Board of Trustees. So in this role, he'll act as supervisor, ensuring governance and oversight functions continue in alignment with provincial direction and the best interests of students and families. And Near North remains committed to transparency, moving forward, collaboration, and meaningful parent engagement. And I look forward to our continuing work together, but I also know that talk is cheap, and please judge us by our actions. So thank you for your leadership and your advocacy on behalf of your students and your children. Minister Calandra.
There we go. All right, perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, chairs, and thank you, Director. Look, it is really nice for me to be here, and I appreciate all the time that everybody has been spending on this and this the importance of this committee. It has obviously been a bit of a challenging number of months across the Near North School Board, but actually, I honestly look forward to the months and years ahead under the director's leadership. We are going to be moving forward with some really good things across Near North. There are a lot of really special, good people in this board, a lot of really good educators, staff who are just absolutely committed to student achievement. And it is about refocusing the board and ensuring that the resources get to our educators so that they can actually give the students, your kids, the best opportunity to succeed. It has not been their fault. Look, we've all looked and seen the standardized testing results, and I know that there's been some disappointment in that, and I share some of that disappointment as well. But that is not an indicator of the people who are teaching the kids. It's an indication of the resources that have been given to them and the support that has been given to the boards and the lack of leadership that came from the previous director of education and some of the infighting and things that happened with the previous board. But that is in the past, and now we're going to move forward. And that is one of the reasons why Director McJanet was brought in to focus on student achievement and getting what's good things about this board back on track. We want to bring the board together. One of the things we hear a lot about here is, Parry Sound is different than North Bay. It's over 30 years. We still have a lot of challenges between one part of the community and another part of the community. We're going to bring it together. And we're, as I say, going to focus on student achievement. For Parry Sound parents and educators, this has particularly been a very, very difficult number of months. We're at the school now, and it's no secret we're in a partially demolished school while a almost completed school sits beside us. Our educators here have had to pack up, unpack, and try to do the best for many of your kids. Some of your kids will graduate from a school, an old school that doesn't provide them the best, while sitting next to one that is almost completed. So that is very, very frustrating. But as I've come through here, I'll just say this, and I'll conclude. You talk to the students here, they're awesome. You talk to the teachers here, and while they're frustrated, they don't care. They're going to move forward, and they have been giving it all. I've seen in the hospitality class, ovens and stoves in a room, people going down to the basement to get things, and just incredible things happening in there. Teachers out of half emptied classrooms, moving all over the building to do extraordinary things for students. So look, this is about moving forward. I know it is unusual to have a Minister of Education supervising a board, but I want to be clear, the reason I maintain supervision of this board is because I just thought that this community had gone through far too much, and there needed to be stability, and there needed to be a clear understanding that we are with you and that we are going to do everything in our power right from the top on down to make sure that our students have the best opportunity to succeed. And when we're in a position to hand it over to somebody from the community to be that new supervisor, we'll do that, but not before we're absolutely certain that we're back on track, that this new building is going to be done for Parry Sound students, and that we bring this board together, and that everybody is cooperating and moving forward. So with that, I'll leave it, and I'll listen in. And thank you, everybody, for your time and your patience. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to meet, and look forward to more time spent together. So we'll continue on with the agenda here, and our next step or next action item is to have a motion to accept the agenda as presented. Would anyone like to move the motion?
I can, Stephanie.
Wonderful. Thank you, Connie. Do we have a seconder? So as a reminder, you can either come off mute or use the raise hand function.
I'm happy to second that one if that's helpful.
Thank you, Jillian. Okay, so we're going to leverage a poll now. And as a reminder, the poll is to essentially share whether you are in agreement for the acceptance of the agenda as presented, whether you decline or whether you abstain. So Vanessa, I see you have a hand up. If it's to approve the motion, just a reminder that you can use the poll. Okay, so we'll give a moment for the poll. Vanessa, if you have a question, you can either feel free to throw it in the chat, or if it's urgent, we can come off mute.
No, sorry, this is my first time, so I'm just trying to figure my buttons on my computer right now. Thank you.
No worries at all. Okay, so we can maybe give another 15, 20 seconds for the poll, and then we can close that one. All right, let's go ahead and close that poll and see where we're at. Okay, wonderful. So the motion has passed. Now we'll proceed with the approval of the minutes from November 12th, 2025. So I'd like a motion to accept the minutes of November 12th, 2025 as presented. Is anyone comfortable moving it? Again, do we have a mover?
Hi, Stephanie, it's Jillian. I can move that one too.
Thank you, much appreciated. Do we have a seconder?
I can, Stephanie.
Thank you, Connie. All right, so we'll proceed with a poll again. So this poll is to accept the minutes of November 12th, 2025 as presented. We'll leave it open for about a minute once it's up. Well, we're at 15 responses, and I do see that we have the majority saying yes. So we'll go ahead and this motion has passed. I'll
Thank
pass
you,
it over to
Stephanie.
you. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Stephanie. Really appreciate you opening us and supporting us with the approval and the approval of the agenda and the minutes. Before we continue, we'll now ask everyone to please complete the attendance poll. We intentionally waited until this point to ensure we capture everyone, including any late arrivals. So thank you in advance. Thank you, everyone. We will now move to our first presentation by Principal Walkling, who will share the Near North District School Board EQAO data. He will provide an overview of the upcoming progress in international reading literacy study, and he will offer an update on the system focus. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Kyla.
Principal Cadlick, and thank you to everyone for having me here this evening to share this information with you. I am going to attempt to share my screen, Kyla, and if you could just confirm that you could see it, please. You're able to see? Okay, I see nodding heads. Perfect.
Yes,
Okay,
Miss.
again, thank you
It's
so
just
much.
spinning right now.
Okay. Well, I'd like to begin by thanking everyone for having me here today. This is really part of a series of presentations that we want to bring to PIC this year around the Student Achievement Plan. In the fall, we had brought forward some information that was really related to the priority in the area of student engagement and well-being, and we had a detailed talk about student attendance or participation in class time. Tonight, we're really going to dig into the focus area or priority of improving learning outcomes and core academic skills. Now, when I say student achievement plan, I want to emphasize that this is a plan that was shared to all districts by the ministry in 2023, and it really helped to galvanize three critical provincial priorities. One, achievement in core academic skills, that being literacy and mathematics, preparation of students for future success, understanding the world is rapidly evolving, as is the world of work, and student engagement and well-being. Alongside these priorities came 11 indicators that boards use as a measure of success in our areas and our work towards these aims. When we talk about achievement of learning outcomes and core academic skills, EQAO is really foundational to our understanding of how we are progressing in these areas and provides us with valuable information to support our improvement planning processes. So let's talk about EQAO tonight, and let's start by talking about what it is. EQAO is an acronym for Education Quality and Accountability Office. This is a Government of Ontario agency that supports accountability in the publicly funded education system. And it does so through the development and administration of large-scale assessments in the area of reading, writing, and mathematics. This information or these assessments provide objective and reliable information that ultimately supports student success. The data acts as a snapshot. It's a moment in time that helps us, our system, understand how students are meeting various curriculum expectations in the areas of reading, writing, and mathematics. And these measures occur at key points across the K-12 learning trajectory. So there are assessments in grade 3, grade 6, grade 9, and grade 10. And we as a district use this information, and particularly the trends over time, to help build a clearer understanding of student learning and our actions to support student learning. Many of you are probably young enough that you remember your own experiences with EQAO. But if you think back, you're probably recalling something that would have involved a lot of paper assessments. And what I can say to you is that today it is very much a modern tool. It's a modern digital platform that has built-in accessibility tools that allow all students to access the question and provide responses. The platform is accessible across a multitude of devices. And in fact, there are sample assessments that I'll orient you to later that the public can access just to experience and learn more about how the platform functions. Primary and junior division assessments. When we say primary division, we're talking about students who would have students in grades 1 through 3. The primary division assessment really focuses on the skills that were developed in those grades 1 through 3 in the areas of reading, writing, and mathematics. When we talk about a junior division assessment, we're talking about assessing the knowledge and skills that students would have developed through grades 4 through 6. And when we actually take time to look at the numbers themselves, those being the outputs or the measures which are presented to the public on an annual basis, we're talking about the percentage of students who achieve provincial standard. And what we mean by that is students achieving level 3 or greater. This is consistent with our policy document around assessment and evaluation. So when we talk about levels 1 through 4, or level 1, 2, 3, 4. Level 3 is what we would consider provincial standard, 70% or more. Alongside this information, we use EQAO alongside other information to engage in meaningful conversations about student learning and achievement. So let's look at our results. And, I do agree and acknowledge that this is certainly an area for growth in our district. And our teachers feel the weight of these results, and the work is quite sincere in response. But when we look at our grade 3 assessments, we can see that over the last 3 collection periods, we have fairly consistent outcomes in grade 3 in reading, with a slight year-over-year increase between 2023 and 2024, an increase of about 2%, with about 60% of students achieving what's called provincial standard, or level 3. Writing is a slightly lower outcome, and has demonstrated some decline year over year, with a decline of 3.8%. And in mathematics, the grade 3 assessment saw a 7.8% increase year over year. Alongside the academic outcomes, or those curriculum assessments, valuable information in the form of student questionnaire is shared with school boards. The students who complete the assessment also complete the student questionnaire, and it's a rich database of student sentiment and attitudes towards learning. So this informs schools' efforts to engage and inspire learning and respond to specific contextual needs of students in the school. For example, in our district last year, 69% of grade 3 students said they like to read, yet 61% of grade 3 students said they read on their own time. That's an interesting consideration for us, and particularly when we engage and have opportunities to talk with parents. 63% of grade 3 students think that they're good at math, and yet only 44% said they believe they can answer difficult math questions. It introduces that juxtaposition between an interest or a like of a discipline versus the confidence and efficacy in being able to be successful. The grade 6 assessments, in reading, we see generally speaking, a consistent and fairly high outcome in relation to other assessments in grade 6 reading. Year over year, we saw a 6.3% increase in outcomes, with 79% of students achieving provincial standard. Writing, slightly lower, 72%, an increase of 2.8%. And grade 6 math continues to be an area of need and is a focus for our district. We witnessed a 3.5% decline, with only 30% of students achieving standard. In each of these assessments, we had a participation rate of over 97%. And again, looking at the student questionnaire, when we look at the grade 6 students, 66% think that they're a good reader, and 58% believe that they could understand difficult texts. And you can imagine, as we're engaging with conversations with staff and schools, how we can start to shift conversations not only to development of foundational skills, but also how we can develop mastery experiences for students and support building their efficacy and confidence as learners. After the EQAO assessments are complete, each student and family receives an individual student results, a summary page, which shows the student outcomes for each of the assessments. And it looks very much like this. This is an example from the EQAO website. But essentially, the little pink dots represent where the student would have achieved in relation to the 4-level achievement scale, with level 3 being meets provincial standard. It's been interesting as we as a district dig into this information. Increasingly, we've seen large numbers of students in that 2.9 area or approaching 3. And certainly that gives our staff some optimism that we are closing gaps and moving towards more students being successful. The grade 9 assessment solely focuses on mathematics, and it assesses the students' knowledge and skills that students would have expected to have learned by the end of the grade 9 D-Stream math program. Across the province, this is an area of focus, and certainly it's emphasized in our district results. with only 35% of students achieving provincial standard. That said, year over year, we did witness an increase of almost 7%, which gives us room to believe that we are making progress, and the work that staff are doing are having an impact. Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test, or the OSSLT as it's commonly referred to, measures whether students are meeting a minimum standard for literacy across all subjects up to the end of grade 9. And this is the one assessment that's a graduation requirement. So students are required to be successful on this assessment in order to graduate, or complete the Ontario Secondary School Literacy course. Our results, and the results that are published, are for students who are first-time eligible. So this is the first time that they have written. And while stable, we have observed a decline year over year of 1.7% and a slight decline over the last 3 years. Again, there is a gap between our outcomes in the province in this area. Students who are unsuccessful on their first attempt can write a second time, and as a third option, could complete this requirement through a course, which is just like taking a course in your timetable. All of this is to say that this information is critical to our efforts to engage in improvement planning. There's a rich data set here. All of our students participate in these assessments. And at the school, system, and provincial level, this information helps to guide our responsive work to improve outcomes for all students. Specifically, here at the Near North District School Board, when we look at the work in the area of improving outcomes in literacy, it includes the implementation of screening assessments. 100% of students from kindergarten, senior kindergarten to grade 2 have reading screening assessments completed, which helps to identify students who are at risk of reading difficulties. And in fact, in our district, that assessment is used right up into grade 8 as a means to identify students who are at risk of not being able to read. We have worked diligently, and then the school-based literacy facilitators are in schools working alongside teachers to implement evidence-based reading instruction that are rooted in the science of reading. Tiered literacy interventions are available to students who are experiencing reading difficulties, and schools are using ongoing assessment and progress monitoring. While we have the EQAO assessments as a check-in annually, on an ongoing basis, the Acadience reading screening tools and progress monitoring tools are critical support to school teams. Improving outcomes in mathematics is a key focus across our district. Specifically, there is a real focus on developing staff capacity in the area of mathematics. Many elementary school teachers are generalists by trade. So professional learning is a key focus in our plan to improve outcomes. We have a specific focus on ministry-identified high-impact instructional practices. So these are practices that are known to have an impact on improving outcomes for students and supporting the development of foundational math skills. School-based math facilitators are assigned to schools on a priority basis to support classroom-embedded learning, not only professional learning for teachers, but also focused instruction for students, modeling these high-impact instructional practices. And digital math tools have been deployed to schools for student use across kindergarten through grade 10 to promote not only engagement, but to effective models and purposeful practice to improve foundational skills. To learn more about EQAO and standardized assessments in the province, EQAO has done a fabulous job of upgrading their website in recent years, www.eqao.com. And all of the provincial results are available. And in fact, there's an interactive dashboard that's now available to the general public that you can go and explore. You can look at our district's results, the provincial results, and any district's results for that matter, and see some of the granular outcomes, not only the academic outcomes, but also the student questionnaire. That is available, publicly available at www.eqao.com. You'll also find there EQAO sample assessments. So again, there's probably some curiosity as to what a modern digital platform looks like for a grade 3 learner. Again, you can log in and experience that assessment with your child. see the accessibility features that are available to all students as they engage in the assessments. As well, there are EQAO resources and highlights that are published. These are publications that help to provide an analysis of the EQAO outcomes, not only for last year, but of preceding years. And lastly, I did want to bring attention to some upcoming EQAO webinars for parents. These are specifically designed and audience to parents. On February 24th, EQAO Math Night for Parents and Guardians. It's a 1 hour webinar available at 6 p.m. That walks through some of the skills that are assessed, as well as the tools and opportunities for families to engage in mathematics at home. Additional sessions include a literacy session with a focus on reading on March 4th and a focus on writing on March 25th. Spring administration dates are coming up, and the window for the grade 3 and 6 assessment begins May 5th and is open all the way till June 9th. And the assessment of mathematics for semester 2 opens May 28th and closes June 24th, with OSSLT opening, I believe, March 23rd. That is sort of a high-level overview of the EQAO assessments and how they relate to our student achievement planning work and improvement planning work here at the Near North District School Board. I'd certainly welcome any questions that we might have from the group around this work or some of our initiatives in response to the outcomes. Stephanie?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm curious about two things. So the first is those information nights, are those best suited for parents with children in one of the years where they'd be doing the EQAO test, or is it recommended that folks attend earlier to have a sense of what to expect? My oldest is in kindergarten, so it's still a ways.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think the content, I mean, there's certainly connections to learning itself, developing foundational math skills and literacy skills, and understanding the assessment and the intent of the assessment. So why are the questions designed the way that they are? So they get into that to some extent, so that might be of interest. But certainly the focus would be on the grade 3 or 6 assessment.
Immediate. Thank you. And then my second question was, I saw some of the reports, kind of the titles on the screens, and it referred to like English language school. Does that include French immersion?
Yeah, so there are filters. So are you on the ministry? Are you on the EQAO reports, like the dashboard there, or are you talking about?
No, it was just read the pictures on one of your slides that had a report that said like EQAO results, English language school. I was just curious, knowing that like more formal English instruction doesn't begin until closer to like in 3rd grade, I believe. So I was just curious about how French immersion is treated.
Yeah, so our French immersion students do write the reading, writing assessment, as well as the math assessment. They're writing the math assessment in English, as that's their first language. And that's been a practice we've adopted since COVID. But you can filter it, and sometimes you'll see views of the results that are specifically for students who are in French immersion or students who are not in French immersion. So you might see graphics where we've delineated it for one reason or the other. And it's certainly something that's available if, like I'm thinking about at your school council meetings, if you wanted to dig into that.
CAD has gone through them for a school. I just was curious about how it was handled more broadly. So I appreciate that context. Thank you.
We have another few minutes. If you have any other questions for Principal Walkling, just raise your hand or put your question in the chat. We'll give you a minute or so if you have any other questions for him. Mr. Walkling, can you just quickly share the pearls and what's to be expected? I know that's upcoming, and I'm not meaning to throw that at you, but I think it would be important to just identify that.
Sure, and again, these we only have 3 schools writing pearls, and they are randomly selected. This is part of an international standard assessment, And I believe, I know, Kyla, I think you are one of the schools, so that's probably why you're asking. But this is Progress in International Literacy Study. It's a major international assessment that measures reading comprehension trends among grade 4 students, and it's conducted every 5 years. So it runs in a sort of a cycle. So this year, yes, we do have 3 schools. I believe it's Maple Ridge, Alliance, and Woodland, I think, are the 3 schools that are writing this year. But it's not one that's written every year, and it's not one that's written by all students. So it's important to delineate that. I think we have 2 classes in each school that might be writing, and they're randomly selected.
Thank you. Final call for any other questions for Principal Walkling. Thank you, Chris. I will share some thanks at the end of all presentations because we do have many more presentations. So thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights. Based on the committee's expressed interest in learning more about easily accessible resources for parents and for students, tonight's next 3 presentations will highlight supports available to assist children and students with both academic success and mental well-being. Our first presenter this evening is Chris Popovich, Senior Manager of Curriculum Assessment and Student Success Policy Branch from the Ministry of Education. Welcome, Chris. We are looking forward to hearing your presentation.
Well, thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Good evening, Minister, Director, Chairs, members of the Parent Involvement Council, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. My name is Chris Popovich, and as said, I serve with one of the ministry's curriculum units, and I am joined tonight by my colleague manager, Elsbeth Skocking. Thrilled to be here this evening, and thank you for the invitation to speak to some of the key features of the ministry's Curriculum and Resources website, and highlight how it can be a powerful tool to parents to support their children's learning journey. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this link, simply Google Ontario Curriculum and Resources website. It should be the first search result. My colleague Elsbeth will put the link in the chat here for your reference, and I'm sure we can make arrangements to share the link with you after the meeting as well. Now, there's 4 key things that I'd like to highlight that could be helpful from a parent perspective, and I wanted to give you a live demonstration so you know exactly where to find these features. So before we jump in, I'm just going to share my screen here. I trust that you're able to see my screen now. And this is the homepage of the Curriculum and Resources website. So you'll see 2 tabs, elementary and secondary, and the various disciplines and subjects underneath. Clicking on these will take you directly into the curriculum documents. However, if you look at the very top menu bar, you'll see a tab called Parents, and I'd recommend that we start there. So I'm going to show you the first piece under that. If we click on that, this is the Parents page. It's a dedicated landing page designed specifically for families. It provides direct access to curriculum overviews, learning supports, and a variety of tools. If we scroll down just a bit, there are a few things here to help set the stage. The first thing is a button called What is Curriculum? This will provide some brief explanations of some key terminology found in curriculum, like learning expectations, this being the key knowledge and skills that students are expected to learn, teacher supports, things like examples and sample questions that teachers use to introduce the learning. It also explains at a high level how students are assessed, and a little bit about the curriculum review and revision process, among some other things. So this is what that would look like if you were to click on that tab about what is curriculum. The second button here available is on transferable skills. So the ministry has identified 7 important categories of transferable skills, sometimes referred to as competencies. Students develop these skills not in isolation, but as a part of their learning in all subjects of the curriculum. These are things like critical thinking and problem solving, digital literacy, amongst others. And so this tab provides a brief explanation of each. The third thing that you can explore here are about course descriptions and prerequisites, specifically for grades 9 to 12. And this is designed to assist students with the helps of their parents and guidance counselors in selecting the courses that will put them on their preferred path to their post-secondary destination. If we click on this, you can select various subjects and disciplines. I, just as an example, have selected mathematics here, but you'll see this is where we'll list all the grades, the course names, the course types, and the prerequisites. And just below that, you'll see a chart to give you a bit of a visual so you can map out the student journey, if you will. So my parent tip here, if I may, is I would invite you to start your journey on the parents page. It really is the best way to get oriented and find out what you need quickly. The second piece that I'd like to show you this evening is around parent overviews. So we'll stay in this parent tab at the very top, and we'll just scroll down a little bit lower than where we just were, and you'll see the parent overviews here. These are subject-specific overviews that explain what students are learning in each grade. They include curriculum summaries, sample learning activities, and tips for supporting learning at home. Really, they're designed to help parents feel confident and informed about what their child is learning and how they can support their child at home. I'll use just one example. You'll see kindergartens at the top of the list. You may recall that our minister has just recently issued an updated kindergarten curriculum to be implemented for the 26-27 school year. So if we click on that, this is what you'll see for the parent overview. Here's a table of contents. You'll see various things. You can learn about the revised kindergarten curriculum. You'll see a summary of some of the major knowledge and skills, and you'll see a section about how to support your child's learning. If we click on that, just as an example, you'll see things like this. It'll say things like your positivity and excitement can make your child feel positive and excited too. We encourage you to talk to your child about day-to-day situations, ask them questions, explore new words that they're learning at school and at home. It mentions things like using your child's first language. If English or French is not the first language, we encourage you to continue using your child's first language at home, as those skills are really transferable among languages. It encourages parents to make learning fun, the use of puzzles, dominoes, board games, crafts, things like that. And something I have a child myself in kindergarten right now, and I know he has recently taken a liking to writing his own happy birthday cards for his friends and his grandparents. So a whole host of things to support parents there of how we can make learning fun and support your child's learning at home. My parent tip here is I would invite you to consider using these overviews to support learning at home or to prepare for parent-teacher conferences. They really are a great conversation starter. The third thing I'd like to talk to you about tonight is about curriculum-aligned resources. We're going to leave that parents tab where we were just for a moment, and we're going to click on resources. This is just next door to that tab right at the top here. And what you'll see are resources that are listed by subject and discipline. You'll also see additional resources that are specific to educators. And if you scroll right down, just don't mind your eyes for one moment, and you'll see parent and student resources. These are interactive tools, printable worksheets, and video tutorials. They're organized by grade and topic for easy navigation and really help parents reinforce classroom learning at home. There are two general buckets that you might see here. One on financial literacy modules to help reinforce the fundamentals of financial literacy. This is a cross-curricular focus that's woven into various curricula. And you'll also see TVO Learn, which will take you to an external site. If I just briefly show you here are some of the financial literacy modules that you'll see. You'll be able to open those. They're interactive modules, videos, and some additional resources here from partners. And if we click on TVO Learn, I know a colleague from TVO will be speaking next, so I won't spend too much time here, but you'll see grades and subjects to be able to access within there. My parent tip here is I invite you to explore the various grades and courses for hands-on activities and visual tools. They can be particularly helpful to reinforce fundamental concepts, as well as those that are more abstract and sometimes need some extra time for children and students to reinforce. The final thing I wanted to talk about tonight is the download feature. So we're going to switch gears again, and this is specific to the curriculum that is being digitized. And this function in particular allows parents to download guides, worksheets, and other materials. It supports offline access and flexible learning at home. And it's great for building a home learning binder or toolkit. So for this, we're going to go back to our home page here, right where we started, where you can access the full suite of curriculum. And we'll take kindergarten as an example because it is new. And if we click on kindergarten, this is what you'll see from the curriculum perspective and the different aspects of the curriculum that have just been published. Excuse me. In the very bottom, you'll see a download feature. If you click on download, you'll have two options here. You can download all of the curriculum documents, or you can pick and choose certain sections. So from this particular curriculum, there is the overarching, what we call curriculum context, assessment and evaluation information. You can toggle for on or off. You can select the grades available. In this case, because it's kindergarten, it's just that one particular program. You can click on teacher supports, include a glossary, or you can also toggle over for information that's applicable to all subjects and grades. And at the very bottom, you can select whether you'd like this as a PDF or text. Just as a brief comparator, if you pick mathematics, for example, you'll see here, you can pick various grades at a time. So you can really build your own binder. So my parent tip here is I'd invite you to download your child's grade level resources, keep them handy for homework or for review sessions. So with that, in summary, I went through four key highlights. I know rather quickly, but I hope they show that the website is more than just a website, but really a tool for connection, for clarity, for collaboration, and for supporting parents and families. With features like the parents page, the parent overviews, downloadable resources, our objective is to really help families feel better equipped to support student success. So with that, I will stop sharing. Happy to take any questions. Also happy to follow up with folks after the meeting as well. Thank you.
If you'd like to raise your hand and or type in a message or a question for Chris, we have a few minutes. Chris, it looks like you did a fabulous job. We have no questions. You were very, oh, hold on. Let's see if there's no, thank you. Thank you so much. I know that many of us will want to come back to this presentation or this recording to revisit and walk through the steps as you're speaking and having our computer open because there's a lot of valuable information. So thank you very much for joining us. And we can, and if there are people that want to stay on and ask you questions at the end, we can certainly do that. So thank you for offering that. I'd like to introduce Nicole Lapp. She's the manager of Partnerships and Community Engagement Digital Learning Division with TVO Media Education Group. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen very quickly and just let me know if you are able to see my shared screen. Just going to put it into presentation mode. Let's see here.
You're good to go.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. And let me see. Okay. And I clicked something. I just wanted to make sure my slides are still being seen. Yes, thank you so much. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Carissa Chen, and I am the Community and Educational Engagement Manager, and I am a part of the TVO Outreach team. My colleague, Nicole Lapp, who is on the agenda to present, is feeling under the weather today, so I will be presenting on her behalf. We just wanted to thank you for having TVO here this evening to present our resources available to students, families, and educators. And thank you, Chris, for mentioning us in your presentation as well. So the TVO Media Education Group, it was founded in 1970, and it inspires learning that changes lives and enriches communities. We believe that every person has the right to a fair and equitable education. And we are passionate about inspiring learning that empowers, connects, and unlocks future potential. So we have a wide range of digital learning resources available, offering thousands of dynamic TVO Kids videos, series, and games, award-winning TVO Today current affairs journalism, documentaries, and podcasts, engaging online K-12 TVO Learn activities, games, and tutoring, and TVO ILC high school courses that support all goals and pathways. We are investing in the transformative power of education for everyone. Throughout this presentation, I will go into more detail on each of these products. So we are committed to reflecting, including, and amplifying the diversity of Ontario. The digital learning resources go through a rigorous equity and inclusion review. TVO works towards ensuring that no voice is marginalized and accurate representation of both historical and current perspectives occur. In addition, the learning activities are designed in compliance with the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act. TVO Learn is created for students and their caregivers, parents, and teachers. It offers free, fun, and relatable K-12 learning resources that support the Ontario curriculum, helping students to develop the skills and confidence needed for the future. It is curated and developed by Ontario educators that engaging online learning activities, videos, games, tutoring, and more meet students where they are and help them progress forward. TVO Learn can supplement existing learning in class, or it can be used as at-home learning support. So this is a screenshot where you will see a list of grade levels. Once you click on a grade level, you will be taken to subject-specific tiles, where you can begin to explore activities and full lesson plans relevant to each subject. Subjects covered include math, language, science, social studies, arts, health and physical studies, and French as a second language. These learning activities can be used for additional support at home as well as preparing for the EQAO. We also have over 49 high school course resources available that are free to access online. It is a valuable resource for students, families, and educators. The TVO Learn YouTube channel has different playlists to support learners in K-12. It also includes shorts, which are shorter clips from these videos to be allowed for flexibility in how it is used in classes or at home. The new content collections are curated thematic groupings of educational materials on TVO Learn that help users quickly find what's most relevant to them. The curated learning activities are simply a small group taken from the course packs found on TVO Learn, so you can find more in the grade and subject area content areas. In the next few slides, I will show you a few examples of the layout for the content collections. So here's a snapshot of what the curated activities look like for the elementary grades for the Embracing Mental Health content collection. And this is what it looks like for the secondary grades. This is also an example for the elementary, and this is for the digital literacy content collection. And this is what it would look like for the secondary. So they do have activities, the NBA collection as well, and also videos. And with the now financial literacy graduation requirements, we have added these resources on financial literacy, and there will be more in months to come. So again, we have here the curated activities for elementary and also for secondary. So make sure to check out on the website, explore each of the activities and the content collections. So TVO Learn Mathify, it is free one-on-one math tutoring for grades 4 to 12 students. It is online, and all the tutors are Ontario certified teachers trained in teaching practices to best support all learners. It is available from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it is also available in the summer with reduced hours. And again, it is free one-on-one math tutoring. It is accessible on demand, meaning that students don't have to book appointments ahead of time. They could just log in, have a question ready to go, and ask for help on a question. And it is completely safe and secure. So the tutors will not see the students. They will not see the students' names or their schools or the cities that they are in. All they would see is the username and the grade that they are in. And a few other features that I wanted to highlight is the interactive shared whiteboard that is used for the teachers and the students. So when they are in the tutoring sessions, they share a whiteboard. The teachers can draw on the whiteboard and the students can also draw on the whiteboard. So they will be able to collaborate and work on a question together. It is compatible on all devices as long as it is able to connect to a web browser. And there are voice and text options for all kinds of learners. They can choose what they are most comfortable with. Now with TVO Learn games, the majority are math aligned. However, there are also literacy games. It is learner centered, Ontario curriculum based, and it is safe and advertising free. And it is focused on K-6 math and STEM skills. And this is just a screenshot of what it looks like on the home page. You can filter by grade, by theme, and also by subject. And here we have the TVO ILC. And this empowers students who are 14 and older to take the next step towards their personal career and life goals. As Ontario's largest online high school, we provide the opportunity to earn independent online high school credits or a full Ontario Secondary School Diploma, OSSD. So it is very flexible, so you can start it at any time of the year and complete it within a certain timeline. It is flexible at the student's own pace, and it is teacher supported, and students will have the support of academic advisors and guidance counselors as well. And here's the new Canadian Adult Education Credential. So the CAEC, or the CAEC, it replaces the General Education Development, the GED, High School Equivalency Assessment. So the CAEC is for adults who do not have a high school diploma, but need an education credential to open new doors to educational training or employment opportunities. As with the GED, Ontario candidates who successfully complete the CAEC will get an Ontario High School Equivalency Certificate. The CAEC assessment includes 5 tests written in person, which take approximately 7.5 hours to complete in total. Testing sites will not offer all 5 tests within one day, and they are scheduled in advance and completed on computers at official testing centers across Ontario. Those taking the CAEC assessment will have the option to book individual tests according to their schedule. With TVO Kids, it sparks curiosity through dynamic media experiences that build skills, boost confidence, ignite fun, and help prepare children for school and life. Award-winning children's videos, series, educational games, activities, and more. You can easily filter shows by target age group with preschool and school age filters. And you can also explore it by topic. So as you can see here in the screenshot, there is topics on science and technology, health and the arts, social studies. So teachers, families, students, they can filter it by the topic based on what they would like to learn. And you can stream it anytime, anywhere. There's a smart TV app and a mobile app. So the complete TVO Kids catalog, you can also access the 24/7 live stream on the go. And there's an improved as you type search experience to quickly find what you're looking for. There is also secure child-gated settings, including Bluetooth casting, light and dark mode options, and also a newsletter sign up. With TVO Today, it is a trusted source of insight and information about life in Ontario and beyond. Our award-winning current affairs journalism, documentaries, and podcasts explore relevant issues and inspiring solutions. TVO Today's website, mobile apps, broadcast programs, and streaming services are all ad-free. Here's a snapshot of what the landing page is for TVO Today, and it is again also available as a mobile app and a smart TV app. So this is TVO Outreach. This is the team that I am a part of. So we are more than happy to visit your school to conduct a session, for example, an in-class presentation. It could be about Mathify or about TVO Learn or TVO Kids. We could do a staff PD, parent council meeting, whichever format that you would prefer. You can request a session by scanning the QR code that is on the screen, or you can email us at outreach@tvo.org. That is all from me for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. If you do have questions, please feel free to ask. I do have another colleague here with me who is able to help me answer questions as well.
If there are any questions, that you want to raise your hand or perhaps mark your question in the chat. I'm not seeing any hands at the moment, but Carissa, I want to thank you for stepping in. I was anticipating Nicole to come in, but it's lovely that you were able to step up. We hope that she's feeling better. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Being cognizant of time, I'd like to present Sandy Gaydon. She's from the North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit, and she will be sharing some of the website and resources from the health unit. Thank you, Sandy.
Hi, thanks for having me. Can you see my screen okay?
We can.
Okay, perfect. Hi, I'm Sandy. I'm the manager of community health, and just acknowledging that this January is 11 years of formal partnership with the Near North District School Board and our health unit. So thank you for continued partnership and for having us on your agenda today. I'm going to give a really quick overview of our website, but do encourage you to check it out on your own time. Due to the vast amounts of information, I can only hit on a few spots today. So our website is broken into some buckets, and I'll pop into each of those and touch on a few areas that might impact families and schools the most. Under our public health services, I'm going to touch in on our dental clinic, our vaccination clinics, and Planet Youth Nipissing. So within our school-based vaccine programs, we follow the Immunization of School Pupils Act that require all children under the age of 18 registered in school in Ontario to be immunized. And so with that, we provide community-based clinics in schools for grade 7 and 8 students, as well as secondary schools who are due for vaccines. And then any students who are not up to date with vaccines may be affected by our suspension process. We also offer in-house clinics in both our North Bay office and Parry Sound office. And when families are exploring these pages, they can look at immunization schedules, what the suspension process is, and all mandatory vaccines. We also have some information on being able to check out what vaccines you've had. And so you can check your own record. There's a place where you can input your information from your health card, and it will show you your history. You can look at which vaccines you need, so whether you're a school-age child or an adult. And you can also get the facts with judgment-free conversations with information from doctors on VaxFacts. So it allows you to do some exploration and ask questions. We also operate a full dental clinic. So we have dental screening programs as part of the Ontario Public Health Standards and the Health Promotion and Protection Act. They are visual assessments only within the schools, and they don't replace a child's regular visits with a dentist. But students are screened at school by a public health registered dental hygienist. And pending the grade being seen, we're able to get through about half a school at a time. Students who will be seen receive notification in advance, and then a report card is sent home informing you of any urgent dental conditions as well as preventative services. Within both our health unit offices in North Bay and Parry Sound, we do offer dental services to children 17 and under through the Healthy Smiles program. That includes teeth cleaning, checkups, dental treatment, and urgent care. And children are automatically enrolled if they receive assistance under temporary care assistance or children with severe disabilities. If they or their family receive Ontario Works or ODSP, or if they're non-insured health benefits for Indigenous people, they also qualify. And we also have Planet Youth Nipissing under this bucket. Planet Youth Nipissing is a community-based initiative to address the root causes of early substance use. It is a model that has been brought to us through Iceland, and there's an aim of decreasing risk factors and increasing protective factors. We currently have a Public Health Agency of Canada grant to support this work, and we're running pilot communities in both West Nipissing and North Bay, and I'll pop a link in directly to that website after. Under health topics, you'll notice that on the side, we'd be able to scroll down quite far. I just grabbed a very short screenshot of this, but this is all the different health topics that we're able to support with at the health unit. Under our healthy eating section, we have a link to our Northern Fruit and Vegetable program. So this program provides 2 free servings of fruits and vegetables each week to students, kindergarten to grade 8, from January to June. And this includes in our entire district 62 elementary and intermediate schools with over 11,000 students. And we've just been given the expansion to bring this program to our secondary schools. Under this tab, we also have some information about head lice. This is a topic we received quite a few calls on and inquiries. And so we've just updated this information on our website. It gives information for families on how to check for lice and what treatment options are available. It lets them know that individual cases do not need to be reported to the health unit, so they don't have to spend extra time calling us. It helps them understand that they can attend school and childcare once they have been treated. And so we encourage them to get back as quickly as possible. And we also have some information to our communicable disease control team who can help with some of this information. We have information on the page as well that head lice treatment products are free for people aged 24 and under who have a prescription and is covered by OHIP Plus. And so head lice treatment can obviously be purchased without a prescription, but we offer that information. Under our health professionals and partners page, this is where we have our information very specific to schools. So if we were to scroll down on this page of the third bucket, we would have our partner section specific to schools. And within our Healthy Schools program, we have a rotating area on our landing page for hot topics. And so we rotate through the items that are most commonly being worked on with schools, and it changes by season. And so currently attendance matters and our lending library are some areas where we're seeing our most common calls. The Attendance Matters campaign was created alongside the mental health leads of all 4 boards, and it refers parents to resources through School Mental Health Ontario. The campaign was created to help with families understanding the importance of every school day counts, every hour counts in the classroom, and what you're missing out on when you're missing school. And so currently we're updating this campaign with our boards to have some more information about inclement weather days and the importance of ongoing learning and not missing out on that time. We also have our lending library through this page. So it is an extensive library of items that we lend to schools to enhance learning and provide hands-on opportunities to support curriculum. And through our partnership with the Near North Board, we have developed some work together with the courier system already in place. So their system will come to our health unit and pick up items to deliver right to educators in the school. Under this section, we also have classroom and teacher supports. We have a variety of topics, and each topic takes you to resources that are matched to the curriculum, lending library items, and links out to areas that are proven health resources. So I've highlighted the human growth, development, and sexual health area. This is an area where we see most educators looking for support. And so under that area, we've also updated all of our resources. So we have a section on tips to getting ready to teach, and it goes over sections where we can help educators feel comfortable and confident. We have our most common frequently asked questions that nurses see, and then up to date on newest information through links. There's classroom resources by grade, and then visual opportunities to have maybe not the hands-on kit in classes all the time, but something virtual. We also have a section for our school administrators under this area, and it lists policies, procedures, illness, disease information. So we have any section where we have PPMs that we support the schools with. There's information on our policy for smoking and vaping enforcement and diseases of public health significance, so that administrators are able to find the information they need as quickly as possible. Under our 4th bucket, we have all of our community data and reports. And so this is reports that we would send out to schools and boards as you are working on your school improvement plans and your board improvement plans, so that you have community data to support your changes. And we also have multiple dashboards available that offer a visual representation of health indicators across the region, making it easier to track, plan, and take action. So I've just highlighted the dashboard section. And 3 of the dashboards that I thought I would share today are the mental health and well-being dashboard, the ACEs, which is Adverse Childhood Experiences and Resiliency dashboard, and the Learning and Development dashboard. And this last dashboard has a comprehensive view of how children are growing cognitively, socially, and emotionally within our communities. So very fast, quick overview of our health unit website. I will pop in the links into the chat, and you're welcome to take a look on your own time. And you're welcome to contact us. We have contact links on all of our pages, and we're always open to questions from parents in the schools.
Thank you, Sandy, for joining us and sharing this extensive website with all this information. It's going to be fabulous for parents to access. So thank you so much. If there are any questions, please, we'll ask you to maybe mark them and put them in the chat. And I would like to move on, just being cognizant of time. I would like to, in response to the committee's interest in creating opportunities for SAC chairs to connect and to learn from initiatives happening around Near North District School Board, Stephanie Underwood, acting principal at Vincent Massey, will now introduce just the EDSB platform that we have set up that supports the networking and sharing for our SAC chairs.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kyla. I will be very brief in sharing this platform with you. Can someone confirm that you can see my screen? Yeah? Okay, great. Thank you. So essentially, we know that parents matter in education, and we know that effective communication helps contribute to strengthen those relationships. And we've, in collaboration with our SAC chair at Alliance, we did implement a very similar sort of platform where parents can communicate with each other and can share ideas, share best practices, etc. So I'm just going to briefly share this forum with you today. This would be a link that you would receive through your parent EDSB account, and it would be a group that the administrators would need to set up. So that's how this sort of came about. Essentially, you can have all types of things on here. You'll see in the pinned section to the left of the screen, we have our PIC meetings, including the links and the times for future meetings. We can upload important information on webinar series that you can then share with your own councils. We also have some, information and some forms around some pro-grant initiative planning. Additionally, we have some very important documents in the library where you can find some very useful information for you. Guidebooks on parent involvement committees. You can find parent involvement committee bylaws. You can find previous parent involvement committee minutes and other Ministry of Education documents. And I think that's it for me, Kyla.
Thank you, Stephanie, for presenting this to our SAC chairs and to our parents. I know that it is something that they've been asking for, so hopefully we'll make good use and they'll be able to network amongst each other. So thank you for sharing. Great. Just moving on. I just wanted to give a quick update around the pro-grants. So the pro-grant subcommittee met to review the first round of applications with funding awarded to MT Davidson, Phelps, West Ferris, McDougall, Land of Lakes, Noble, and Ferris Glen. The round 2 applications will close on February 20th, which will be at the end of tomorrow, and will be reviewed by the committee over the coming weeks. Joining us this evening, I have asked some representatives from West Ferris, Ferris Glen, and Noble who will share their parent engagement initiatives this upcoming year. So they have a couple of minutes each to speak. So if we would like to start with our representatives from West Ferris.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Jillian Kaganich, principal of West Ferris, and with me I have Gia and Victoria, 2 of our student senators at the school, to talk about our pro-grant. So take it away.
All right, so our Mindframe Fair is a student-led event which is supported by school council. This is going to be our 4th year doing it here at West Ferris. And this year and the 2 prior years, we received the ProGrant support, which has helped us a lot. And we have had an increase in partners ever since. To name a few, we have the Multicultural Center, Out Loud, Amelia Rising, and many more. And we hope to get a lot of participation this year.
This is a booth style event where it has multiple communities come out during lunch, afternoon, and the nighttime for our parent teacher night. And we set them all around the school, and we have parents and kids go to each station and talk about different resources each community can provide for families. They're there to ask questions and give insight on different activities and stuff they offer. And we also do a thing, if they visit each booth, they can get a wellness giveaway.
Each year it's grown. So our first year it started with 7 or 8 community partners, and I think last year we had more than 25. Some of them only come in the afternoon, some come in the evening. We really have had positive feedback from parents, and so that's where this kind of coupled between school council and student senate. Student senate ran an event like this in multiple schools 4 years ago, and I think we're the only school still doing it because we partnered with school council at the time, and it's a really great way for families to engage with. We have a really big catchment at our school, and so there's a lot of community partners that serve different communities, and each year there's more. So it really enhanced our ties between the school community and families to share those resources and make those connections. So we really appreciate the opportunities that the Parent Reaching Out grant provided us in this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. We know that all of our SAC chairs and committees wish and want to know more what's happening across our district. So this is a wonderful opportunity. Ferris Glen, we have Heather, I believe.
Hi, yeah. My name is Heather, and I'm a mom of 3. So I'm really happy to talk about Ferris Glen's ProGrant initiative. I feel like it addresses many of the topics that we've been talking about so far, and in particular with the mental health and well-being. So that's really where our grant kind of comes from. So Ferris Glen, in collaboration with the Canadian Ecology Center, partnered together. So first I'll just tell you about Ferris Glen. We're an elementary school located in a rural township, rural township just east of North Bay. So we have students from Astorville, Bonfield, Corbeil, and Rutherglen. So that's a wide geographical area, but we're actually a very small school. One of our school's unique strengths is our impressive program. We invite families to learn more about our school curriculum and experience our outdoor room firsthand. So in collaboration with the Canadian Ecology Center, we present winter workshops, specifically winter workshops, because that's the time of the year where I think we're all feeling like we need a little to get outside and to kind of socialize and connect with one another. So that's really the heart of the event. But what we do is we go out snowshoeing, we play games, we learn about, we do things like stargazing, we have storytellers come, and we do hands-on activities. So this is really kind of a feel-good event for our families, which is kind of a really lovely thing. But I think really what we're getting at is that the foundation of supporting our students is really having active parent and family involvement. So that's really what this program is about. What really we're trying to do as SAC is to bring our families together, celebrate our school, connect with one another in person, and also nurture our students' love of learning and love of their school. And in this upcoming iteration of Embrace the Chill will be really environmentally focused. So focusing on our environment, being stewards of in our community, and really, just kind of leaning into the love and caring for our community and our environment through our school. Okay, that's it.
Thank you for sharing this wonderful initiative, Heather. I look forward to hearing more about it. Last but not least, we have a representative from Nobel. If you would mind sharing that would be great.
Hi, I'm Nicole from Nobel. I chaired both McDougall and Nobel, actually, so 2 schools, and both our programs got approved. We're in a small community right now that has a lot of issues with our school, and mental health is a huge issue for a lot of the kids because there's been a lot of issues within the school system. So when we thought about it, we wanted to do something about healthy habits and brain boost. So we're really excited about it. And Lori, our principal, has been doing things beforehand. So intentionally, we're building momentum towards the upcoming Brain Boost and Healthy Habits Night. Which is funded through the program. This initiative is going to be all about strengthening student well-being, building healthy habits, and deepening parent engagement in a meaningful, practical way. So we know why I think these programs really matter is we know that student success is about more than academics. It's about confidence, resilience, communication, and healthy routines. So when families and schools work together, we feel like children are going to thrive, not just in the classroom, but in all aspects of life. So our goal is to create opportunities where parents and students can learn side by side, practice strategies together, and build habits that can continue at home and last long after. So our first thing that we're doing with Lori is we're doing some student PA days, and the first one's going to be on April 9th. And these PA days are going to focus entirely on personal health and well-being. So throughout the day, staff will lead engagement and discussions and interactive tasks on movement, on consent, cyberbullying, anti-vaping, vaccine literacy, which one of the presentations, coping and communication. So this will be not be lecture style learning. It'll be a practical discussion based, and the skill building students will leave at the end of the day so they can have tools in real life, whether that's managing stress, navigating online spaces safely, or communicating effectively. So that's our first stage. And then our second one is we're going to be initiating Thriving Thursdays. So these are all leading up to our program. So, and then on these Thriving Thursdays, there's going to be different initiatives as well. And these are going to be making stress balls, creating gratitude jars, yoga, guided meditation, and then other interests that are guided by the students. All of this leads to our program night. It's going to be a fun night. And during the evening, families will move through engagement stations, which is kind of like what West Ferris is doing. They're going to be given gratitude and learning journals to complete alongside with their parent. So as they go to a station, families will reflect together and add prompts to their journal. And then at the end, if they finish their journal, the PIC committee has been phenomenal, and we're going to be giving out books for people that finish their journal. So this is where the magic happens when students teach their parents what they've learned, and the parents practice strategies alongside their children, which that's the whole point, is having parents and children together these nights to share their experience in strengthening their communications and build consistency at home and reinforce those positive habits. Yeah, so sorry, I'm just going through on my notes that I got. Our special thanks again is going out to the PIC to the committee, because they donated. Last year they did a big thing on the Childhood Unplugged, and we wanted to give families that finished the journal that book, and they had some spare, so they donated the books to us. So parents are going to leave with an actual book. If they've done the work with their kid, they're going to get a book to take home, which I think is a great resource, and we're really grateful for the PIC for that. And we just want to say that this is not just a one-night event. We feel like it's a layered approach. So we're focusing on the PA day, we're going on these Thriving Thursdays, and then we're going to have a meaningful family engagement night. So together we're going to create continuity between home and school, which I think is going to be really cool.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everyone. It's really exciting and fabulous to hear the wonderful initiatives that are taking place. And I could assure you, in April, once round 2 has been completed and reviewed, we're going to ask more parents to share about their initiatives, and perhaps we could network together to discuss different initiatives within the different schools and how we can perhaps adapt some of those initiatives within our own school or district. So thank you so much. I'm just cognizant of time. We have a couple of minutes. I'm going to ask Chair Bergman just to quickly ask a reflection question and have you think about it for a second, and perhaps you can raise your hand or add any comments into the chat, and it will drive our meeting in April. So please take a moment. Chair Bergman, if you'd like to share, that would be great.
Absolutely. So folks who've kind of been at the PIC meetings all year, you may remember that we asked attendees to think about ideas and topics that we'd like PIC to focus on that would be beneficial to yourselves and to your broader school communities. So what we'd like to ask today is for folks to consider the priorities, discussions, and decisions that have been reflected in our meetings. What emergent needs or opportunities should PIC focus on next to strengthen parent engagement, equity, and communication across the system? So we'll give folks a moment to reflect. You can throw them in the chat, throw your hand up. If you think of something later, you can put it in the EDSB group. Perhaps while people reflect, maybe we can share some of the upcoming events.
Absolutely. So just quickly, upcoming events, we have our pro-grant subcommittee application closing tomorrow with our committee meeting in the next couple of weeks. We do have our PIC meeting number 4, which is tentative. It is booked April 29th, and our one in June, which is also tentative. And any items or questions that you may have, if I'm jumping to other, please if you don't mind sharing your information or questions with Bergman, with Chair Bergman or myself by April 2nd. It'll allow us to put the agenda together. Wonderful. Are there any thoughts or reflection on
Thank you for including the question on EDSB as well. So we do have a question in the chat. Where are we at in supporting schools when it comes to equipment? PSPS is working on a playground. How can we support the SAC Council through PIC? I don't necessarily have a specific answer as PIC, but if folks wanted to connect like SAC to SAC, I'm happy to talk about some of the larger scale fundraising initiatives that we've been working on at Alliance, including initiatives that can carry over year to year. So if folks want to connect via EDSB or separately on kind of how we're approaching some of those, I'm happy to share as, fellow SAC member.
I was just going to say to you, Steph, that I kind of agree. Those are kind of like fundraising things. I'm not sure if that's, but yeah, we use fundraising to help purchase stuff for our school.
Yeah, and they're asking about support for SAC. So like from SAC to SAC, I'm happy to help talk through like our strategies and how we've gone about it. My also former career was in fundraising specifically, so also happy to talk about broader fundraising initiatives. If that's helpful, I'll share my email in the chat here with you as well.
I think that as a SAC chair, that learning what fundraisers worked best for other schools would be really great. I feel like that's a large part of what we do as a SAC is raise money for things that the schools need. So if we could say, hey, you know what, I did the chocolate one and it worked really well, or no, don't do this one, it might be kind of useful to know what's working for other schools and what's not.
I agree. I think also ways to streamline the planning year over year. So like how can some of it be processified so that it's not as heavy of a lift every single time? So best practices there could be very cool. I know a previous topic as well that has come up that we haven't yet spoken specifically about has been supporting through like differentiated learning, like IEPs, both if it's someone's own child, but also how to support children in succeeding in classrooms and helping peers who perhaps have differentiated learning needs as well. So I think that one's come up once or twice.
So Stephanie, we have that for our April agenda. So we are really going to focus on this special
I knew it was on our list.
We are working closely with our SEAC committee as well. So you'll see, again, in response to your desires and you've expressed what you really want to get out of the PIC committee and the knowledge and resources that you're hoping to acquire. So you will see that. I am cognizant of time. We have 2 minutes. So just before we adjourn, I would like to extend sincere thanks to all of our presenters for sharing their insights and for their continued support of parent, guardians, and students. We are also pleased to acknowledge Director Jay McJanet and the Honorable Minister of Education, Paul Calandra, as well as Esso Gray for joining our PIC committee this evening and their ongoing commitment to this committee as we move forward. We also want to thank you as well as all the participants for joining us tonight. We so look forward to meeting you again in April. With that being said, it is 6:29. I would like to put a motion to adjourn, and we only need to raise our hands if you are wanting to adjourn at 6:29. I'm calling the meeting. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.